I'm so glad you're here listening to the Sustain Your Passion podcast. I'm Genesis, your host and business development expert. If you're ready to make a bigger impact and income while helping others, then you're in the right place. Thanks for joining me, and I can't wait to help you sustain your passion. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Sustain Your Passion. Today, I have a guest with me, and I'll let her introduce herself here in just a second. But I'm so excited because I feel like I have the perfect person for all of you that are wondering, how the heck do I grow on Instagram? Because literally it's happening like right now. So Bree, can you go ahead and introduce yourself so we could dive into this conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Genesis. I'm Bree Mills. I am the founder behind Ready Set Squirrel. I am an online neurodivergent Instagram coach. And I do social media in general, but Instagram is my home and my platform of choice, and really where, I am the most useful, I would say.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
yeah, and I do advocacy through my platform as well. That was kind of how I got started. And so, yeah, here we are today, 5 months later, and just things are popping off, and it's been a really a fun roller coaster of an adventure. Still just getting my feet under me and figuring things out. So it's been fun.
I love that. And, I feel like that's something that's so unique about the way you're navigating this journey is like, I've checked in with you a couple times over the last couple weeks and just seeing like your growth. I'm watching it and I'm like, what is happening? And I check in and you're just like, yeah, got another 500 followers overnight. But also, oh my gosh, I got like so many followers overnight. And so it's
Yeah.
like this equal part, like, yeah, this makes sense. I've been working for this.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh, it's working.
I know. I know. It is, it's definitely like very rewarding to go through that point of where you kind of feel like you get past that hump, because there definitely is that point. I mean, I feel like anybody who's ever tried to grow on social media has experienced that, where you have the highs and the lows. And in a few weeks too, when some of my stuff peters out and you have kind of a regrouping phase, you know it, it's okay. And what I've kind of learned is that you just need to not let yourself get down in
Mm,
those moments, because those are your moments to really like take a step back and really just evaluate what's going on, what was successful, and then start the process over again. Because um really what I'm seeing is that consistency truly pays off. Like, you
yeah.
can't expect people to get to know you overnight. You can't expect to put out one reel and, gain a gazillion followers. Like, it's a process, and it's a um very much putting the puzzle pieces together of, how do I get the reach on a reel, but also how do I convert those people into followers? Because you can have a reel go viral, and I have had a reel go viral that doesn't translate into followers.
Mm,
And so, there's a very specific process, for all of this, that I've kind of figured out, like a system that's kind of begun working. And now we're at the point where if I can get that reach on a reel, um, and I kind of have a pretty good idea of what is going to get the reach. Like, I'm understanding now more and more for my brand specifically how to convert those people.
yeah.
So it's been really cool to see, my hours and hours and like literally hundreds of hours at this point of research like really pay off and
Yeah.
really, come to fruition, and,
Right.
quicker than I thought. So it's very cool.
Yes. That's so great. And I feel like that's one of those educational pieces that people are always looking for in the market is like, what's working right now? Because
Hmm.
we don't know how quick like algorithms change. And to your point
Yeah.
earlier, like it probably will peter out. There probably will
Hmm.
be some highs and lows. And how you navigate your mindset during those like reach slumps is
Hmm.
so critical because to your point, right? You just got to keep going and keep trying
Yeah.
because yes, research at large is super important. But what I'm hearing too is balancing that with practice, like creating and
Mhm.
doing the work of creating and creating again and then trying it again and studying it and then
Mhm.
trying it again. And I'm just
Yeah.
always impressed. Like, you have the funniest reels. And I'm so curious, like, what would you say that reel that's doing really well right now with all the followers? What do you think, like, really helped it be so successful? Is it because it's funny? Is it because it's relatable? Like, what's your take?
For me, everything that always gets the reach for me is comedy and relatability because people want to connect with other people who are like them.
Mm,
People want to feel like they are not alone in their struggles, in their ridiculousness, and I'm fortunate that my niche is neurospicy people because that is me. And, I am truly this ridiculous all the time.
I love
And I I think that there is a huge part of balancing authenticity, originality, and strategy because I can be authentic in my content creation and still be extremely strategic about it. I know right now that Instagram is prioritizing short form content. It's prioritizing playthroughs. It's prioritizing shareability. So I um will create based on those things, but I choose what I do out of my own life experience. I choose what I do out of what makes me laugh, what makes, or what I think that my audience is going to enjoy because I also connect with people very well. I spend a ton of time in my DMs and I'm talking to people about their struggles and about just kind of what they're going through. What is it right now that is speaking to you in your life experience because ultimately like laughter and this is true for me, like laughter is healing.
it.
Laughter is a little tiny escape from reality. And when you can connect and relate to somebody through that small little snippet or that small little moment of just, oh, okay, you gave me my little dopamine hit.
Yeah,
Great. It only has to be 5 seconds. It doesn't have to be um anything overthought. And when I overthink my content, it actually performs way worse. Is
That's
my
so right.
experience. If I go off the dome, it
Mhm.
resonates much further. And it's been really fascinating to watch that journey because and my strategy is interesting and I'm not a gatekeeper. Like I will lay it all out there and let everybody know exactly what I do because like I want everybody to succeed. Like that's why I'm coaching. Like I want everybody's accounts to grow and I don't want you to have to stress over being somebody that you're not to try to perform well
Mm,
on social media. It's absolutely not the way to go about it. I have people who talk to me who tell me that, like, oh, this coach told me that I had to do this. I'm like, absolutely not. You do what you want to do. You make what makes you happy to make. You fine tune your messaging. You put your keywords in your caption, you use your hashtags, you optimize your length. Like you do all of these things,
mm,
but you create from a place of being genuine
yeah,
because people will resonate with that. And the people that don't are not your customer anyway. It
right.
doesn't matter. When people unfollow me, like when you're starting to grow, that's really hard to like watch
Mm,
that count go up and down and be like, oh my gosh, I lost 2 followers and I've only got 100. Like, oh my
yeah,
word.
right,
But ultimately, those people were never going to connect with you anyway. Those people were
right.
never your people.
So true.
And when you are authentic, you will find them and
Mm,
they will rally around you. Like I literally had to like gather myself before recording with you because I took a little break to go and uh dry my hair and get a snack because I realized I hadn't eaten today.
so
Shocker.
ADHD.
So
Oh
ADHD.
shit, same.
And
I
yeah,
got 2 cups of
right.
coffee though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I actually got myself water too, so I'm doing great.
smart. That's awesome. I should probably
Like
have
I'm
some water.
hydrated. Yes.
Yeah, so
Um,
great.
but came back to my messages and had like 3 people that just said the most poignant, heartfelt things that it just still blows my mind that we as influencers. And I had this
Mhm.
conversation with somebody yesterday. It's like, do you see being
Mm.
able to be a business person and an influencer? I'm like, we have influence,
Yes.
whether we accept or realize that or not. We are influencing
Yes.
people's mindsets, people's opinions of themselves sometimes.
Mhm.
And like, what a beautiful thing to be able to just
Can I pause
speak to somebody.
can I pause you real quick
Oh,
and
yeah, for
fix
sure.
this? Oh, I'm so sorry. One
No,
second here.
you're good. Don't worry about it.
So we were just disrupted by an alarm that went off in the background. But now that we're back, let's dive back into this dynamic of being your authentic self and how, even though you might lose a follower here or there, maybe even a couple in a day might decide, no, I don't want to follow this account anymore. How do you find peace with that and be like, great, go find what connects for you? That's all right. And
Hmm.
still hold faith that there's someone else watching and maybe they're not going to message you today. Maybe they're not, letting you know right away, but hey, maybe tomorrow you might get a message from them. You might get 3
Hmm.
messages from them.
Yeah.
And what do you do with that, right? Where do you go with that influence that you are making in people's lives?
I think that really what drives me and what helps me to not ever, at this point, not take it to heart at all.
Mm,
It's like I might notice, oh, if I refresh, but or when I'm going through my analytics and being like, oh, 10 people unfollowed me today. Okay. And
right.
that's pretty standard. I mean, 10 people a day when you're growing by 500 a day, like that's peanuts. And those people are people who could have maybe accidentally followed me from something to kind of get an idea of what I was about, or followed me from something where my face wasn't in it. And then I pop up being ridiculous and they're like, who the hell is this girl?
Right? Like, we
Like,
don't want you to stay. If you don't
yeah,
like our
no,
content, like, unfollow, please, so we can be
exactly.
our weird selves.
Yeah, yeah. And that's fine. I know that not everybody in real life resonates with me. I'm 37 years old. This isn't the first time that somebody has thought I was weird or hasn't connected with me. It's fine. But the people who do connect with me because they get it.
Mm,
They get it, and I am their people, and they see me and they say, that is my person. And, I had somebody say to me just minutes ago, like, I can't believe that I found you. And now that I found you, I am never letting you go. And I'm like,
mm,
what a beautiful thing from somebody that I have never spoken to before and just has that connection through your content.
mm,
And that's why I will preach every day of the week. I know when I get ready to post something or when I think about posting something and I don't want to post it,
mm,
um obviously it's fine to have boundaries,
mm,
but if I'm doing it for vanity reasons,
mm,
if I sit and think about it and I'm like, oh, I don't want somebody to see me cry, or I
mm,
don't want somebody to see me be vulnerable, I don't want somebody to know the bad parts of my life, like, ultimately those things are what is going to transcend
mm,
deeper. I
mm,
can be ridiculous in 90% of my content, but in those moments that I get real with people, that's when people reach out and they say, I'm going through this too. And how are you dealing with that? How can I get to this place
mm,
also? And that gives you that moment to say, all right, here's my opportunity to make an impact. Here's my opportunity to teach and to, you know, let people see you as human, because none of us are perfect. None of us, not a
yeah.
single one of us. And like, stop trying to be perfect. Stop
Right.
trying to be the travel influencer sipping Mai Tais on the beach. Like, I'm sitting down here with a freaking sofa full of unfolded laundry and mess all around me. And, I take people on tours of my backs and I'm just like, oh, look, there's my bra hanging out there. Am I the only person that wears a bra? No.
Right?
You know,
Exactly. Like,
like, whatever. It is what
there's
it
gonna be
is.
dog hair on my sweater. Like,
Yeah.
that's just how it's gonna be.
It's
It's fine.
it's life.
Yes.
And so, but combining that aspect
Yeah.
with your strategy, because you're not just in it, like, you're not going to magically be seen by everybody. There's 2 billion people on Instagram that you're competing with.
Yeah.
And I say competing in a, just to be seen, to be
Yes.
exposed to
Yeah, there's a
people.
reality of like only so much content gets seen. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you strategize that. But I mean, I post every single day. I post a reel every single day intentionally because that is where people see my personality, who
Mhm.
see what I bring to the table. You know, there's so much that you can communicate through body language, through, you know, my unhinged facial expressions. Like,
They're
they
the
know when I
best.
get on the phone with them, like I'm gonna look like a wild maniac most of the time,
Yes.
and that's fine.
Me and my like messy buns and pajamas see
Yeah,
and then we're like it's
exactly.
the same thing where I'm like I don't want you to be surprised when we hop on a call and you're like, oh, why aren't you in a fancier situation, why aren't you this
Yeah,
or that, like I just want to be
because it's not
me.
me,
Yeah,
homie.
yeah,
Yeah, like,
exactly. Like I don't know how you mix things up, but no.
yeah. And I hear so often like how many people get held back by that. And
Mm,
like I understand that there's an element to like you need decent lighting because, you know, that's just a practical thing where somebody can't see your face in a reel, or the algorithm sees that you've got poor lighting quality in your house, like it's just not going to push out the content. But
yeah.
that's fine. And like today I posted what I use for my lighting because I record in my
No,
basement.
I
And I
added it
said,
to my
okay,
Amazon cart, Brie. I already
yeah.
did. I love that
So you
recommendation.
pop that little bad
Yeah.
boy down there, and you know,
Mhm.
you move them around where you want to, and it's, you know, okay, now I can film in any corner of my house. And it does, like, it just doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. And so as long as you are being genuine, as long as you are having fun and showing people that like this is real life, like that's, it's going to find your people. And when you um you know, again, I was actually having this very conversation with you the other night. I think that a huge part of the amount of reach that I've been able to get, because I have tons of reels flop. I'm not going to act like every single reel that I post all of a sudden has, you know, 12 million views, because some of them do.
Yeah.
And, you know, usually those are like the very quick, like my memes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm into like, the algorithm loves memes. It loves memes because they are shareable, they are quick, they are niched,
Mhm.
but if you're not original with them, you know, they're not going to perform because
Yeah.
people have seen them 47 other times. So
Right.
I try to be intentional with those about not like always staying on brand,
Mm.
always talking about neurodivergence or my job,
Yeah.
because I don't also want 500 people to come follow me who have no connection whatsoever to what I'm doing, because then
Right.
they're all going to unfollow me
Yeah,
later.
exactly. What's the
But
point? Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And you don't want to have that, you know, that, or like your engagement will drop out the floor, and like you
Right.
don't want that either. But when you combine those things, so I know my short form comedy
Mm.
with trending audio, you know, and you can pick that based on your person. Like there's thousands of audios out there that are trending. So you find one that you like, or even if not, like go clip, you know, screen record something that you like, a sound, and, you know, export it into your thing and use that. It doesn't, um, but you make it short and quippy,
Mm.
and you allow that to get the playthrough and the reach and the shares, you know, because shareability right now, if you're getting a full playthrough on something, you're making lengthy captions,
Mm.
and, you know, getting multiple playthroughs at that point because of that.
Uh-huh.
And you're creating something that you think in your head, like, oh, yeah, I would share this with my best friend, or,
Mm.
you know, all of that. Oh my gosh, this is so me sort of
Yeah.
content. People are going to throw that in their stories. And then you
Okay.
have exposure to an entire new audience.
That makes so much sense, the shareability. So I'm curious if we were to break this down into like practice, like if you were sitting down thinking about your next reel, I don't know how far out you schedule, but like whatever your next one to post that you're going to create is, walk me through the process. Like, how do you identify this is this is me moment I'm going to talk about in this reel? Where do you collect those ideas, or do you just like go inward
Just
in your
life. And you
process?
know what? I will be completely transparent here. I don't schedule. any of my content
No shit, you're making those reels every day?
every day. But I'm very quick at it at this
Yep,
point
I
too,
love that.
because I get inspired by
Yes.
audio or just through like what I'm doing every day. Like, did I do something really weird and absurd that probably a lot of other ADHD people do today? Like, I
Mhm.
was actually just thinking, earlier today, I haven't posted yet today. And then I was like, I need to use that audio that's trending right now that has I don't care what anybody thinks about me, and having this whole like big, triumphant moment, which is really great
Yeah.
when you're getting followers and you're having this
Mhm.
big influx of people. And then, being in like the fetal position when you notice that, five people unfollow you.
Unfollow. Right.
You're like, I don't care what anybody
Relatable.
thinks, but don't
Oh my
unfollow me.
gosh.
Like,
Yes,
so,
that's
just
so
that dynamic
cute.
of being confident and being, triumphant and like, yes, I'm killing it. But then the RSD comes in, and
Yes,
then you've
right.
got the, oh my God, they hate
But I'm
me.
still terrified. But yeah. Oh my gosh, but now that means everyone's staring at me. Like,
Yeah,
yay for followers, but
exactly.
holy fuck, now my next post is gonna be seen by that many more people,
Hmm.
potentially, right? So there's
Exactly.
definitely that high and low. And the philosophy, right, of, your practice is one that I don't hear much about out there, and is really what I personally, like, love doing too, is that idea of let yourself be inspired. And I do where I have like a base amount of content that I schedule out. And then I do that on top of it where it's like, okay, I know
Hmm.
for sure I'm going to have my like conversion type post. So once ideally, a reel gets some views, somebody comes to my page, they're going to see certain content that like I want to make sure they're learning about me to convert them
Hmm.
to joining my lead magnet or whatever. But in terms of coming up with those inspired stories, that's such a great tip of like what happened in your real life. What's something
Hmm.
you genuinely were wondering about today or nervous about or
Hmm.
feared or enjoyed or whatever like actually happened.
Hmm.
Share that, right? Just put that on blast.
Exactly. And I feel like it allows you to stay more relevant. So there is
Mhm.
partial like part of it is like I've got ADHD. I'm
Yeah,
bad at planning. I
yeah,
have to do it for clients that I have, and it's just like by that point I'm over it,
yeah.
and I'm just like, I can, I'll wing it on my own.
Mhm.
And but I get so much inspiration from reading other people's stories. Like, what
Mhm.
are other people struggling with
Yeah.
today? What is the conversation in the network that I have today? What is being talked about? Because, you know, the algorithm knows everything. It knows that you're creating content that is addressing this thing that somebody else is talking about right now, and it just makes you
Literally,
more
because it's
relevant.
listening,
Yeah.
right, to, like, everyone's
Mhm.
conversations, like, I
It's
know we don't have too much insight into, like, the algorithm, right, the mythical program, the math of it, but we can see what works, right? We can
yeah.
witness it, and it makes sense that, these current trends and what you see worked yesterday or last week, do it
Mhm.
again, right? Like,
Yeah.
just repeat that cycle. So,
Mhm.
at what point did you figure out that, like, okay, reels are need to work this way. This is what's, being successful for me, and let me double down
Mhm.
on that strategy. Do you remember having an aha moment?
Um, so I think that well, and this is kind of part of where, the coach in me comes in. It's gonna be different for every single person and every single person's audience, which is why the one-on-one aspect is so good. It's like I can give you the knowledge. I can sit here and say, short form, this.
Mm,
But I have people that I work with whose carousels do incredibly well. And that has never been a place where I have ever gotten a whole lot of reach. And, it's just, I think that because I started out doing reels and because I prioritize that in my content, and it does get the most reach for me. Um, and it's also my comfort zone.
yeah,
I can write what I want to write in the caption, but
right,
I'm a theater kid. I'm a
yeah,
performer, and I communicate best through performance in a way. It's almost like a
Mhm.
dancer who, okay,
Yeah.
my form is interpretive dance. It's like, you
Yeah.
can convey your emotions. Like I convey through humor. And
Yeah.
I um I feel like it's so important to just lean into your strengths because some
Mm.
people can kill it at carousels. And it's like, I know the general gist, but people don't follow me because they want to read a carousel. They
Yeah.
follow me because they want to be entertained, and then
Yeah.
they'll read the caption, and then they'll get to know me through that. And so for me, because I do want them to get to know me, and they can't do that in a 6-second video. So, you get strategic about where you are placing these other things. And I have a whole story that, about my whole background that you can click
Mhm.
through that I created in Canva, where you can learn about my entire life story and like who I am and where I grew up and, all of this different stuff. And
Yeah.
so that's right there for somebody to access if they need
Mm.
to.
Do you keep that as
Or
a highlight on your profile?
yeah,
Nice.
and I suggest that everybody do that. And like, you need to have your about your page, you need to have your about you, and you need to have your testimonials or, the thing that's for your audience, being like, here, this is for you.
Yes,
Like come
exactly.
to this spot.
Yes.
But that's where people can go to get that information all at once when they're ready to get it. And so the way that I do that is by I will straight up tell my audience, "Hey, I'm getting ready to dump for my highlights here." And so you're going to get like 20 slides in a row that are about me. If you don't want to look at them, skip today. If you do, great, but I won't have to update those again for like,
Yeah.
unless I have another baby, which God willing I won't anytime
Right.
soon.
Right. Keep things like as
I'm
is for
done
a
with
little
that.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Love that.
that's not changing. And
Mm.
so I can kind of, set that, know that it's going to do its job, know that I've put the effort into it because if you have like 75 random bits of
Mm.
information in there, nobody's going to go through that.
Nobody's looking at
Nobody's going
that.
to get a
Yeah.
story from that because they don't know
Yeah.
what to expect. So
Totally.
keep it on topic and like
Mm.
throw it out there, leave it accessible, optimize your bio. And, and for me, because I create so much,
Mm.
I can really not care. And when I say not care about my content, that's not absolutely what I mean, because I am intentional about every single thing that I
Obviously.
post. But
Yeah.
I don't have to care about every single thing that I create getting reach. And I feel like that's where a lot of people kind of lose sight because they see that, okay, I'm only posting one reel a week or I'm posting two reels a week. And if they're not getting the reach on those two reels, they get discouraged. But
Mm.
it's like, I only need one really great reel every once in a while
Right.
for people to now, kind of pile in.
Yeah.
And then everything else that's in there, I'm creating a gallery of things to keep them in my home, to keep them in
Mm.
my place, to let them get to know me. So now you're here, you like what I'm doing. Now you can sit here and scroll through hours worth of content, and people do that,
Yes.
and
Yes, the
and
binging,
they
right? Yep.
yeah. And so I can get a new follower who sits and watches an hour of my content and feels connected and feels like they know me, and who now is like, "Oh, I really want to work with this person." And it's the parasocial relationship. It's just like how
Totally.
you grow a connection with your favorite podcasters. It's like when you're
Yes.
exposed to those people and you are top of mind every day, whether people are conscious of it or not,
Mm.
they feel connected to you and they
Totally.
start caring.
Yep.
And that is the goal of social media is,
Mm.
you want to be visible and you want to connect because
Mhm.
that's why we're there. And
Right.
I encourage people to, I don't say don't reach out to me unless you want to talk business. I
Yeah.
tell every single person, if you need support, reach out to me. Like,
Mm.
I'm a really good cheerleader. Like, I
Yeah.
get it. I've been here because you know what? Whether, and this has never been my motivation, but something to always keep in mind is like, once that relationship is built when you are human and when you are genuinely caring about somebody. Who do you think that they're going to go to when they actually do need something?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's going to be you. And
Yes. Mhm.
so, and I know it's not feasible for everybody and every circumstance, but this is just how I do things.
I
And
love
it's,
it.
um, I reach out to as many people as I can. I'm behind right now, but when my new followers come, I don't try to sell them things. I send them a message welcoming them and I say, I am
Yes.
so honored that you're here
Yes.
and
Mm.
thank you for being here. And they might respond, they might not. They might be like, what the heck? Why are you messaging me and
Right.
unfollow me? Great, fine. You're not my
Exactly.
people.
Yes. I feel like that is the root of it, right? And you mentioned this earlier, citing your age is like, this isn't the first time that somebody maybe didn't like me. And
Hmm.
that confidence that I'm still gonna be me whether you like me or not. I'm gonna keep showing up because I'm committed to what I'm doing and I know that what I do matters. That is so foundational to everything I think you've shared. Because so many people can do what you do, but if they don't have that foundation of confidence in themselves and commitment to what they're doing, they burn
Hmm.
out and they quit and they get really discouraged quickly, which sucks, right? Because they probably had great stuff to share.
Hmm.
But if they don't come in with the mentality that you're sharing here of just try it. Like if you like it, someone else might also like it. Give it
Yeah.
a shot, see what works, refine and iterate. But don't give up because realistically, you don't know which one's going to do well and you don't need them all to do
Hmm.
well, right? A
Hmm.
successful business isn't like having a gigantic following isn't a requirement, but you do need to be gaining traction regularly and getting
Hmm.
followers regularly, which to your point only happens if you keep showing up. Like it's
Hmm.
all mindset at the root of all of it is
Hmm.
mindset, and that
Yeah, and it does take
yourself.
a while to get there. And that is, part of the thing that I focus on. And it's such a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, primarily who I work with are women. Although recently it's been really cool because I've had several men who have reached out and who have been kind of contacting me about like, hey, what should I be doing here? And people
Nice.
who have bigger accounts, and it's so cool to just be like, all right, so here's a different dynamic because obviously I'm coming at it through one lens as a woman with ADHD, but men deal with those same things too with neurodivergence of
Yeah.
like the unmasking and
Mhm.
digging through those layers of like who am I at my root and being really comfortable with that and knowing that you don't have to pretend anymore. You don't
Yeah.
have to pretend to be anything that you're not. And it's so much easier when you don't, because you don't have to pretend to be anybody else when those people get on the phone with you. They
Totally.
they know exactly what they're getting.
Yeah.
And we have so much fun. And to watch people step into their own power and just transform that mindset in a moment, like I can just watch it happen in real
Mhm.
time. And I'm just like, and then I go and then I watch and I engage with their account and I see how their content changes. And I'm just like, I see you.
Yeah.
Finally, I see you. And
Yes.
yes, like it is only a matter of time now because I can see the change.
Mhm.
I can see that this is real and that you are speaking from your heart and that you are enjoying what you're doing. If you
Yes.
don't enjoy it, it's going to burn you out. You're going to
Yeah,
hate it.
and
You're going to
people
be
can feel
resentful.
that, like, yeah, if you can tell, when it's like,
Mhm.
I phoned this one in, like, I faked this one, and it's like,
Mhm.
"Okay, I know you felt like you needed to do that one today, that's cool, and,
Mhm.
like, you got it done,
Yeah.
good for
If you're
you, we'll
feeling
see
that
you tomorrow."
way, recycle content. Like,
Yeah,
that's the
right.
other cool thing about like
Oh
creating
my
every
god.
day is that, yeah, go back a few months, grab something because probably 90% of your current audience hasn't seen it yet anyway. And the ones
Right,
that
and if
have
they
are just going
have
to laugh again.
or they
Whatever. They
won't
don't
even
care.
remember, like, I am
Yeah.
sure I've re-enjoyed like, I've even reshared stuff that
Mhm.
I don't realize, right?
Yeah. How
Because
many
it
times have you
speaks to you
seen the same
differently.
meme
How
in
many
your
times have
feed?
I watched the same TV show? Let's be real.
Exactly. Yeah. And so great, fine. Nobody cares and
Right.
nobody's going to remember. And nobody's going to remember when you have a reel that flops. And that's why I preach too. Don't delete your stuff ever, ever, ever,
Mhm.
ever. Because I had a reel that flopped and a month later went viral
That is
because
so
some big account resonated with it, shared it, and then their audience picked it up. And here off we go, off to the races. And
so cool.
you just never know. And,
Yes.
I had an account the other day who shared 6 of my videos back to back on their feed. And I was like, holy cow.
Thank
Okay.
you. Cool.
I know. I was like, so we're best friends.
Uh-huh, right? Like, okay.
um,
What can I do for you
yeah,
now? Because I love
exactly. I'm
you.
like, cool. Can I give you a shout out? Like,
Exactly.
it's yeah. And so like that dynamic of just
Mhm.
create. And the other stuff you can learn,
Yeah.
the other stuff is plug and play and learning what to use where. Like your coaches can teach you that.
Right.
We can teach you what to put in there. We
Yep.
can't teach you how to be yourself. We can help you with your mindset, but I can't make your content for you,
Right.
and
So
I
true.
can't be you for you. And
Mhm.
as much as I wish that like I could get on there and like move your body around and
Yeah.
tell you exactly what to do, like I can coach you through getting to that point, but you
Yep.
have to make the decision to show up and to be
Mhm.
brave and
Mhm.
to really just get so comfortable with yourself that that troll is not going to matter because you're doing so much more good than that person who has something negative to say. Because
Yes.
their problem isn't with you, their problem is with
Right.
them.
Right. They
They
were
don't like
mean before they got on
themselves.
the
Yeah,
app. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Like you're just a rude person, and that's why God made the block button.
Right?
So
Like,
I am a
bye.
blocking queen. I'm like, you were
Same.
rude to me? No, bye.
Literally, like, why would I
Yeah,
not? Like, at this point, I would walk
exactly.
away from you in public, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
block you too, like, that's fine. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
totally.
we don't need like that person's never like they don't need to have anything to do with me.
Oh,
That's fine. Like I'll save you the trouble.
yeah.
Although when I'm being petty, I will say that it's kind of my favorite thing when trolls engage with me and sometimes I'll leave them and like engage
Mhm.
back and forth like just in a nice
Yeah.
kind of way
Innocent
because
question
I
asking,
know
I don't know.
that now I'm going to start showing up in their feed more and it's going to make them so mad.
I love that.
Like you engaged with me. Oh,
Uh-huh.
oh me.
That is so great. Oh my
But yeah,
gosh.
that's the dopamine
I love
seeking
it.
in me.
Yes, I mean, that's so interesting how, like, your perspective is so clearly rooted in, like, be yourself, try and try again, connect
Don't
with
be afraid to
people.
fail.
Yeah, and, like, show up as your real self because I don't know, this might sound extreme, but, like, perhaps a mindset shift that can help folks is to think about that if you're not showing up as the real you, you might as well not have made the content in the first place. Like, if it takes you practicing, sure, you're always going to
Oh,
continue to get
yeah.
better. But if you're being like super stiff and awkward and uncomfortable, like just take a nap. It's okay. Do it
Yeah.
later. Like, come
Yeah.
back to it when you've got the energy for it and you
Mhm.
feel that purpose, you feel that connection, and you feel called to make it so that it's not like half-assed content that we all
Yeah.
you didn't wanna make.
And don't try to copy people because I see that so much too of um seeing what somebody else is creating and trying to imitate it, which is never going to come across. And I understand that in terms of like getting used to it and kind of understanding how to make a reel or
Right.
understanding how to do transitions or because
Mhm.
all of that is like technical skills that you learn and you pick up on as you go. But if you're trying to duplicate what somebody else is doing, it's never going to feel real. So like great, if you want to talk about that same thing or if you even want to make the same points, do it in your own way.
Right. Yep.
Start recording yourself without actually performing and see,
Mm.
so that you can cross
Mhm.
compare and say this is not how I move my body. This is not how I talk. This is not how I, you know, do these
Huh,
things, because it's really hard to be objective about it in the moment. Or,
totally.
oh my gosh, my gut's showing. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
Right.
Nobody cares. We all have bodies. Like,
Right.
and if you care, like, I don't want to have anything to do with you anyway. So
Exactly, like, you gotta
again,
work on that, and oof.
yeah, and it's ugh, and honestly, like, when you make stupid content that lands flat, if you are doing a good job about engaging your audience, like,
Mm,
I can make stuff that I know I'm like, oh man, that wasn't my best work.
mm,
And man, your people will show up and root you
mhm.
on anyway and think that you are the best thing since sliced bread,
Yes.
because you're showing up for them and they know that. And like, I guess that would be my last tip too. Is just
Mm,
be so generous. Be as
mhm,
generous as you can, especially in the ways that you can that are not costing you anything. It
yeah,
doesn't cost me anything to share somebody else's content that I love. It does not cost me anything to call out that person and say, this person's making great content. Go look at their stuff.
yeah.
If you put effort into that, and this was something I literally stumbled upon, because that was like, that came naturally to me. I was like, well,
Mm,
I don't want to be stingy. I don't want to say only look at my stuff. Like, we have this beautiful community here.
yeah.
This person's doing something different than me, and this person's talking about it in a different way. I love it, so I'm going to share it. Great. You know what happens when you put a little bit of effort
Mm,
into saying something nice about somebody?
yeah,
They're going to share that to their content. And now
totally.
here you go, an
Yep.
entire new audience of people
Oh,
that you just got just from being kind.
yes, I
And
love that. Mm,
so, yeah, just like, and those people too, like, even if you can
mm.
give things away, like, sometimes I'll give away
Right, those
resources if I
gifts.
see somebody
Mhm.
struggling with something in my feed and like
Yeah.
talking about something. I'll be like, oh, I've got this resource that I made. I'm just going to give it to you. I'm not going to
Yeah,
make you buy it from me. Here you go. Because you know what? That person is going to talk about that to somebody else. And that
totally.
person, it didn't do anything for me. And obviously, you have to have boundaries, blah, 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 blah. But
Yes.
I am very much of the opinion of, like, be as generous as you are able to be
Mm,
realistically.
yeah,
Um,
I totally
and
agree.
I think it'll come back tenfold.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I have almost 10,000 people to show for it.
Yeah,
So I
right?
think it's a good practice in
Yes,
general,
I
because
think so.
give without the expectation of
Mm,
receiving, I think, is
mhm.
the
Yeah, I can see that.
moral of the story,
For
right?
sure, right? Which, like, stems from all of this is, like, if you're giving from a place, if you're creating from a place of genuine, "I enjoy this,
Hmm.
and I want to share this with other people because I think they might enjoy it as well," that's so generous of you. Like, that is a generous, kind thing of you to do. If you're going into it thinking, I'm going to use this post as a way to make people experience this thing that I want them to experience, like, maybe ease up a little and
Hmm.
focus inward on like what you enjoy. And I love the lesson you shared there of the difference between recording yourself talking and performing. Like, that just blew my mind because I think about that all the time, but I've never put a name to it that, like, it totally feels like performing for
Hmm.
recording a reel or even taking a picture, like you're posing. You are putting on a show of sorts.
Hmm.
You are performing versus if you were just talking to a client and happened to be recording yourself, you might
Hmm.
sound different, you might talk different. And like, how can we
Hmm.
make both of those things sound the same, look the same, so that
Hmm.
you're just showing up. It just feels
Yeah.
like you're just letting a camera record you versus performing. Oh,
Hmm.
that is
Absolutely.
so smart.
And well, and I think especially in like talking reels, it's like, there's
Mm.
different types of content. Obviously, like, I'm not like dancing around like that, like, every time that I'm getting on a phone call. I mean, sometimes I do though. So it is, it just be what it be. But,
Gotta be prepared.
it is, not uncommon for me to do that. But there's also like a switch. It's like, if I'm talking to somebody, I'm not going to pretend to be a certain way and talk a certain way. And like, when I get on my stories and whatever, like, I'm just going to talk to you like I would talk to my friends,
Yeah.
because I don't either. Like, as a neurodivergent person, I do not have the energy to be masking for social media every single day either.
No,
Like,
totally.
nobody needs that. And what kind of an example would that be? Just be like, be yourself, but I'm not going to
Yeah,
be myself.
exactly. And the
Gross.
irony of like neurodivergent folks wanting to unmask by seeking entrepreneurship or seeking their own job that
Mhm.
allows them to like work from home, and then they get into the online creator space, whatever, right? Don't bring your past coping mechanisms of
Mhm.
hiding and masking who you are to be safe into this space, because nobody's asking you to.
Mhm.
But
Absolutely.
that's
You
scary.
get to be anything because that's your house. That's your
Yeah.
digital home.
Yeah.
You get to choose who bees or who bees there. Like, I can't even
Yes.
talk. You get
I
to choose
love it.
who bees there. And
Your next meme.
this is Bree recording a podcast. It doesn't
Yeah.
even need to be a meme. It'll just be
Right.
this clip, and we'll put it on a 12-hour loop,
Perfect.
and it'll be a
You'll
trending
either love it
audio
or
now.
hate it, you know? Exactly.
Yeah, and it's so funny because, like, even in that regard, I stopped caring as much about how I was, because I think I was putting way too much
Mm.
thought and overthinking, like, my carousels. You know when my carousels started performing better is when I started acting like me, sticking a hook on one page, sticking a meme on a second one, being a smartass,
Mm.
and then putting what I needed to in the caption. Just, like, hey, click on
Yeah.
this. And then your little meme that's, oh, you're totally my bitch now.
Right.
It's like,
I
it,
made you swipe.
I know. Ha ha.
Gotcha.
I win.
Yeah.
Or, literally just in good humor being, that one that I did the other day where I was like, hey, if you haven't downloaded my course yet, here's this annoying singing thing. I'm going to keep posting these until more of you guys go and download this. And I'll be danged if like 12 people didn't go download my
I
training that day.
believe it. I believe it. Like, how many times have you seen a training where it's like, oh, I would like that squirrel,
Hmm.
literally, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
people
Like,
just
I
need to be
know.
reminded.
And I know you guys. And that's,
Mhm.
kind of the joke of it. It's like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep sitting here and posting annoying things because I think they're funny. And eventually it'll trigger you to actually go do it. So, all right, here we go. I don't need to write like a whole educational post on like
Right.
that
Why
type of
it's
thing.
worth
Like,
it. Yeah.
I have to make you laugh and
Mhm.
trigger that dopamine enough
Mhm.
to make you be like, oh yes, yes, this is what I need to do. I'm gonna go do that
Right.
right now. And
Yes, this has my
it
attention.
works.
Yep.
So stop overthinking everything. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a dissertation and
Mhm.
every single time.
Right. Like,
Obviously sprinkle that in. Great. Give them a
sure.
dissertation every now and then. That's
Yeah.
fine.
And if
But
that's you, like, and you're lengthy in your words, go for it.
yeah,
Right? Like,
perfect.
do it. And
Yeah.
don't stop, but like commit to who you are, you know?
Hmm. And
And
if you don't have the energy, because you're burnt
right.
out and you're tired and you just need to like remind people of something,
Yep.
make content in that vein. Be
Yeah.
honest about it. I don't have the energy to write a
Mhm.
caption for you guys right now. I love you so much. This is
Yep.
for you.
Yes.
Bye.
Right. Here's a
And
picture
people
of
get
me.
that. Yeah. Yep.
Hello.
This is my face.
Yeah.
Please go click this link.
Yes.
Okay. And if they do, great, but nobody's going to get mad about that. And so I think that that's just like the whole thing is like sometimes people just get so wrapped up and having to present a certain way all the time. And every single thing that you post doesn't
Mhm.
have to be that. You don't have to stress and overwhelm yourself to the point where you're miserable or where you're overwhelmed by it every single day. Like, have fun.
Mm.
Let your personality shine through. If you're sarcastic, be sarcastic. Do
Yeah.
you think that there's not 10,000 people on the internet who will vibe with your sarcasticness? Like, there absolutely are.
There's
And if,
billions of people
yeah,
of account. Like,
exactly. Like,
yep.
there are so many people here that I don't care who you are. Like,
Mhm.
it does not matter
Mhm.
at all that if you are implementing yourself with
Mhm.
strategy, there
Mhm.
are 100,000 people out there who are going to follow your account eventually.
Yep.
You just have to be real
And
and
keep showing up.
keep showing up. Yeah, and
Yes.
don't let it discourage you. And don't
Totally.
care when something falls flat because it's
Mhm.
not personal. It's not personal.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's, I don't know. This is my soapbox speech
I love
because,
it.
you know, I don't know. It's just all of those things that you kind of learn along the way of like, because I've been there too, you know,
Mm.
I've been through all of those ups and downs, and, you know, you kind of just get to a point where your perspective starts changing and you're like, oh, all right. I really don't have to do anything over the top or extra for people to like me and for people to follow me. Like, if I put a lazy post out because I need them to click something and I'm exhausted and don't feel like writing a huge long caption, they're still going to click the link, or they're not, and they weren't going to anyway. You know,
Yep.
like they're not going to unfollow me because of one post like that. Like, I'm
And
not
if
just
they
going to throw
do,
trash at
good
them.
riddance.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because they know that I am showing up every day and I'm consistently
Yeah.
delivering value. And so you do have the opportunity to kind of just get more casual and to just kind of, you know, mix that in there and not have to be, yeah, because nobody is at the top of their game every day. And they know that, you know, I'm not hiding anything. Like, I'm a neurodivergent too. Like, some days I, you know, have not washed my hair, and you know what? I'm still going to post a reel
Yeah.
because it is what it is. And
Yep. That is the real me. I'm not gonna
yeah,
hide that because I'm not ashamed of it.
exactly. If
Mm.
somebody calls me out about it, I'll be like, absolutely. Yep. Haven't showered
Yep.
yet today. Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
It's fine. You probably haven't either, if we're being honest.
Right?
Um,
Like, come on. Did you
yeah.
brush your
So
teeth for this? Like,
yeah,
I know.
right. I
It's
know.
fine.
I didn't brush my teeth till like 6 yesterday because I forgot to buy toothpaste for like 2 days in a
Mm,
row. So, and then I
mhm.
used the last of my kids' bubblegum toothpaste because that's what I was on for 24 hours. And
Oh,
then that was
man.
gone. So, yeah,
Yep, it
that
was
was rough.
finally time. I
Rough
get
times there.
that. That's me and like the growling in my stomach. I'm like, okay, I should probably eat now. I
Mhm.
don't think I can avoid this anymore. This was so helpful. I just feel like you are a wealth of knowledge. I love
Aw,
that you
thank
are
you.
so willing to share what's working and what's not and what you're learning. Like, it is just so fun to engage with you and your account. So I would love it if you could tell folks where they can find you and connect with you on Insta or any other place.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm on Instagram at Ready Set Squirrel, spelled exactly like it sounds. And that's my main platform. I'm all over the place, but that's where you can find me. That's where
I
I
love
exist. Everything else is cross posted.
Perfect.
And then you can get me at my email at hello at Ready Set Squirrel, or in my DMs on Instagram. And I don't hide. So just find me, you know,
I
shout
love
really
it.
loud and I'll probably appear. I don't know.
Right. So, well, thanks so much again for your time and for this conversation, for being willing to share with the listeners here on the Sustain Your Passion podcast, and for being you and putting out all the good you do in the world. I'm
Aw,
so glad to know you. Thanks
thank you. And you too. I love you and everything you do. So
again. Ditto. Thanks
thank
so
you for
much.
being amazing.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Sustain Your Passion podcast. If this episode helped you gain a bit more clarity, courage, or confidence, please share it with your friends on social media or in a text. It would mean the world to me. Thanks in advance for sharing this episode. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.